डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
I, Dr. Darshna Dalwadi, Assistant Professor, School of Computer Science, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University, welcome you all to the Chaitanya Studio of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. I welcome you all to the lecture series of Principles of Cybersecurity. Today, we will discuss about Unit 2, Attack Vectors, Threats, Risk and Vulnerability of Block 1. In this chapter, we will discuss different attack vectors, threats, associated risk, vulnerability and consequences. Also, we will see how risk management is done to handle the potential risk associated with the threats. Our today's agenda is to discuss about key terminologies, attacks and risk assessment. Attack or attack vector. First terminology we have, that is attack or attack vector. An attack vector is defined as the technique by which unauthorized access is gained inside the computer or network for a criminal purpose by exploiting the vulnerabilities in the system. Next key terminology we have is risk. It can be defined as the probability of the loss from any particular threat from the threat landscape, which can exploit the system and gain the benefits from it, such as loss of private and confidential information such as username and password, sensitive organization data. Also, the loss of the reputation which has occurred can be considered. Also, the loss occurred in terms of damage of destruction of hardware and software assets can be considered as a risk. So here we have seen about the risk. Now risk can be anything, as we have seen, loss of private and confidential information. If you are having username and password and if you are losing it, means someone is stealing your information of username and password, then it is a risk, because with the help of that username and password they can access your data. They can do changes in data, they can modify the data. Then sensitive organization data. If your organization is there and you are having information about organization's financial detail or employees detail, then if such type of data is getting stolen by someone, then it can create harm to your organization. So these all are the risks associated with the data. Next thing we have, that is threat. Threat means anything that can exploit a vulnerability intentionally or accidentally and obtain, damage or destroy an asset. Now threat means what? In simple terms, you can say anything by which someone is trying to get your data. They are doing it intentionally. Whether they are not doing it intentionally, but by mistake they have done, then also it will be considered as a threat. When they are having this threat, when attackers are applying threat to your system, at that time they can obtain your data, they can damage your system, or they can wholly damage, destroy, or they can steal each and every type of data from your system. So that these all things are considered as a threat. Next thing we have, that is vulnerability. Now what does it mean? Weaknesses or gaps in a system. Now suppose you are having any system and in your system you are getting some attacker is getting some gap. They are finding some places from where they can hack your data, from where they can try to steal your data. So that is called as a vulnerability. Weaknesses or gaps in a system's security program, design policies and implementation that can be exploited by different threats to gain unauthorized access of a computer system or network. This is called as a vulnerability. This is known as vulnerability. Next thing we have, that is asset. Asset is what? We can say people, property and information. People may include employees and customers. Property assets consist of both tangible and intangible items that can be assigned a value. We have seen that asset means you can have people, you can have property, or you can have information. People means it may include the employees who are working, or it may include the customers who are coming to your organization. Property means it is consisting both tangible and intangible items that can be assigned a value. Intangible assets means the reputation and proprietary information of your organization. It is called as intangible asset. The information which may included in databases, software codes, critical company records and many other intangible items can also be included in your assets. An action, device, procedure or technique that reduces a threat, a vulnerability or an attack by eliminating or preventing it, or by minimizing the harm it can cause, or by discovering and reporting it so that corrective and proactive actions can be taken, are called the countermeasures. Now whatever we have seen is what? Up to this we have seen attack, then risk, then threat. Now when we are having these things, we have also seen assets. Now when we are having these things, at that time we need to take some countermeasures. Now what are they? That we have seen right now. Countermeasures means an action, device, procedure or technique that is helping us to reduce the threat, to reduce an attack. Now to do so, what it is doing? It is eliminating the threat or attack, or preventing it, or minimizing the harm it is causing to our system, or by discovering and reporting it to the organization or to the person. With the help of this, what can be done? One can take corrective and proactive actions that are called as the countermeasures. Now after that, you can see here one figure is there which is showing the relationship between all the different terminologies we have seen. Owner imposes countermeasures to reduce the risk to the assets. Owner wish to minimize the risk to assets. Owner values the assets. Threat agents give rise to threats that increases the risk to assets. Threat agents wish to abuse and or may damage the assets. We have already seen the definition of attacks. We will look here the subtypes of attack, and they are active attacks and passive attacks. Now up to this, what we have seen? See, these are the key terminologies we have seen and the relationship between them. Here you can see each and everything is related to each other. After that, whatever we have seen means key terminologies. In that, first one was attack. Now two types of attacks are there, active attack and passive attack. Now active attack means what? In this attack, the attacker intercepts the connection and then modifies the information. Here you can see we are having Bob and Alice who are sending message to each other with the help of internet or other communication facilities. In between the transmission of message from Bob to Alice, we are having one person who is having name here as Darth. That person is capturing messages from Bob to Alice and later on replies message to Alice. Bob is sending message to Alice. Bob is just assuming that actually he thinks that he is sending the message to Alice. But in real, what happens? Before sending the message to Alice, Darth is receiving the message from Bob. Whatever message they have captured, after capturing the message, they are replaying the message to Alice. This is called as the active attack. An active attack can be divided further into masquerade, replay attack and modification of messages. What Darth can do with the message, whatever is captured? He can do these three things with the message: masquerade, replay attack and modifications of message. Second type we have, that is passive attack. Now in passive attack, what happens? In a passive attack, the attacker intercepts the information with the intention of reading the information and not modifying it. They are intercepting the message, but the intention is just to read the information. They are not going to do any modifications in it. It can further be divided as traffic analysis and release of message content. Now here we can see same thing we are having here. Bob is there, Alice is there. Bob is sending message to Alice with the help of internet or any other communication facility. But what happens here? Darth is also here. But what Darth is doing here? Darth is capturing the message. He is just reading the message, whatever content he has got, just reading it, and after that sending the message as it is to Alice without any modification. As we have seen here, the intention here is what? The intention here is only to read the information, not of doing any type of modifications to it. So this is passive attack. We can also classify the attack based on its origin. From where the attack come. Based on that also the classification can be done. Now in that first attack we have, that is inside attack. Now in inside attack what we have? If the origin of the threat agent is from the inside the organization, then it is called as the inside attack. The attacker is in the organization only, and from the organization only they are doing the attack, then it is called as the inside attack. which may have the authorization and access granted to the resources. Now, as we have seen here, that attack will be from the organization. Inside the organization, the attacker is there. It means they may have authorization, means authorized person can be there. They can have access of the resources, but uses it with the criminal intent. The access are granted to the authorized user, but right now they are working as an attacker. It means they are creating harm to the system or to the organization. So their intention is not proper for the organization. So the way they are using their accesses are having criminal intent. So this is inside attack. Next attack we have, that is outside attack. Now in outside attack, what happens? As the name suggests, outside of the organization. Person is not authorized, but person is out of the organization. He is unauthorized person and trying to threat the system. Origin or source of the attack is from the outside of the organization. It gains the unauthorized access to the system or resources with the criminal intent. Now, as the person is outsider, they are attacking the system from outside of the organization. Obviously, they will not have the access of the system. So, they will be unauthorized user. So, what they will do? They will try to gain the unauthorized access of the system so that they can steal the information from the resources or from the system. Their intention is not good for the company. They are trying to steal the information. So such type of attacks we have, that is called as the outside attack. Now, what is a cyber attack? What it can do? A cyber attack can destroy the business overnight. A proper security defense is required to stop such attacks. When we are having cyber attack, at that time, overnight, whole system can be, whole organization, whole business can be destroyed. So we need to provide proper security defense to the system, to the organization, to stop such type of attacks. The main focus is to compromise the systems and gain access to sensitive data. What is the main focus here? Main focus is to access the sensitive data. Now when we are having this cyber security, at the time we need to see what are the top cyber security attacks and what harm they can do to your system. So let us see the top cyber security attacks and what they have done to the systems. First attack we have, that is phishing attack. Now phishing attack means, as the name suggests, generally phishing we are using for which purpose? When we are doing phishing, at that time what we are doing? We are having some block of food which we give to the fish to attract it. So when the fish is attracted to the food, we will just capture it. So this phishing attack is same like that. It is a type of security attack that tricks the user to divulge the sensitive and personal or confidential information, which is sometimes referred to as phishing scam. Now what happens here? the attackers are trying to attract the users. They are trying to get their personal sensitive information, confidential information, like username and password. Every time we are not giving username and password to each and every site. So what happens here? They are attracting the user so that they can give their personal information like username and password, or confidential information like their credit card detail or their debit card detail or their bank detail. So every user will not click the links which are provided in the email ID for providing the details. But the attackers are smart. They know that users will not click on each and every type of links they are providing in their emails. So what they are doing? They are doing social engineering. Now social engineering means what? Social engineering means they are checking the profile of the user. Means to whomsoever they want to attract, first they will check that what type of things they are searching on internet. What are the things for which they are looking for in internet. So such type of social engineering is done, and based on that they will send the links to that user which are related to that searches. Whatever they are getting in social engineering for particular user, from that they are finding out that this user is doing such type of search. So if they are sending links related to it, they will click and will provide the information. So what that attackers are doing? They are performing social engineering and will send the emails to the user with the similar content which user is already looking or interested in it. After that, in phishing attack, the mostly targeted business sectors are payment platforms, financial and banking organizations, webmail services, and cloud storage or hosting providers. Mostly we can have phishing attacks at such type of business sectors which are having payment platform details, financial or banking organizations, or web services or cloud storages. Phishing attacks engage users with a specific message and very solicit way for the response from the user. When phishing attacks are done, at that time they will provide a specific message to the user, and user will provide the responses, which is ideally to click on the link, is known as call to action. When we are talking about this process, the attacker is providing specific message and user is giving response to the message. The whole process is called as the call to action, which means the attacker wants the user to action on the content provided in the email to perform the action. Attacker wants the user to take some action on the link. We can say content or link. Whatever link is provided, if the user is not clicking on that, click means to take some action. So attacker wants that a user should take some action, that is called as the user action, where on the provided link, as the user is clicking, the process is called as the call to action. As this process is performed, user will be ready to provide the information which they don't know that actually they are providing to the attacker. So this is what we are having in phishing attack. Now in phishing we are having one another type, that is called as the spear phishing. When a phishing attack is targeted to the specific individuals of the organization, it is known as spear phishing. To individual person, or we can say we are targeting to specific individuals in whole organization. From the whole organization, we don't want to attack the whole organization, but from that particular individuals are there to whom the attackers are targeting, then it is called as the spear phishing. Now attackers are using the solicit company logo, footer and all other style information which is present in the legit email to trick the user. The content of the email mainly focuses on the password, reset email or account reset activity. For the prevention of the phishing, the user has to check clearly the from address and email content along with the links present in the email body. Now when we are having this type of phishing attack, at that time what can be done from the user side to prevent it? As we have seen that attackers are sending the links in email. So first thing we need to check is what? We need to check from address, from where the mail has come. Then the content of the email, what is written in that email, along with the links present in the email body. Apart from this, employees awareness using various teaching method is the most important, as major data breach occurs due to human error which cannot be ignored. We can check this email, but with this the awareness of employees are also required, because most of the attacks are happening because of the human error, because we are ignoring some such things and we are just providing the information, and because of that we are getting the loss of data. So these are the steps we can do for prevention of the phishing attack. Now up to this we have seen what are the different attacks, what are different threats, what are different assets we have. Then after, countermeasures we can take. After that we have seen different type of attacks based on its origin: active attack, passive attack, then inside attack, outside attack, and phishing attack. In phishing attack also we have seen spear phishing. So up to this we are keeping today. In next lecture we will see remaining attacks and its type. So thank you for today. We will meet in next lecture.